a massive isolationist, non-interventionist wing in American politics in particular, that it's based on the fact that Iraq was a disaster, Afghanistan was a disaster, and before that, Vietnam was a disaster. But what's happened here is a president that many people thought would be non-interventionist and isolationist is actually showing that there is a third way.
Is he?
But what he's not doing is getting America embroiled in a regime change war in Iran. He just takes out the nuclear weapons in 12 days.
12 days, yeah. And then another 12 days and another 12 days.
Largely using Israeli intelligence and so on. And here in Venezuela, what we saw is an intervention with zero casualties.
It's notable how blasé these two are about the casualties, saying that there were no casualties in the Venezuelan operation. There were. It was reported right from the start. It looks like there were several dozen casualties in that operation. And surely more to come if the regime doesn't go in the way that Donald Trump wants it to go.
I think President Trump is single-handedly showing that you don't have to be someone who launches long, costly trillion-dollar wars.
Not a trillion-dollar war, just a trillion-dollar military budget for the first time ever.
Or democracy and all of that. Do you think that's on the cards?
I think that's going to be a long, long, long time. I think Venezuelans have waited for 26 years to get rid of.
So Triggernometry like the military action by the United States in Venezuela, but they haven't got a clue really where it's going to go. Sounds like another forever war.
And bear in mind as well, it's not only Delcy Rodriguez at the top, all Maduro's henchmen and some of his most notorious...
So this is the worst of both worlds for everyone concerned. Like, Trump has got rid of Maduro, but kept the party in power. So how can military intervention be a remotely sensible solution, even according to the logic of the people who are proposing it?
The level of uncertainty. No one knows where this is going. This is a day-to-day situation where Venezuelans and people around the world are waking up and going, what's going to happen today? So it's quite apparent that America is in charge.
I think it's giving the illusion of being in charge. Be interesting to see, given that it has declined as an economic power over the past several decades, how long that illusion can remain even on our media screens.
These people have been involved in the drug trafficking, including to the United States. That really isn't the reason that this has happened. Is that fair to
go? Well, why not Colombia? Why not Mexico? Mexico, in terms of drug trafficking, dwarfs Venezuela.
Yeah, it's not drugs. We all know that. It's just the American government throwing its weight around.
But if you look at the fentanyl that comes over the border from Mexico, no. The accusation is that Maduro is part of the Cartel de los Soles, which is a notorious cartel, drug cartel, and these are the accusations being leveled against him.
It's very interesting, this cartel. It seems to be, at least according to Aaron Mate, who reported about it the other day, it's just a construction of the American legal system. It's not actually a real cartel. It's just a label that's been put on by the Americans years ago. So I don't even know if that's even real. Early in the video, Francis Foster talks about how Chavez, when he came to power, seemed to be popular and seemed to be doing quite well. And so he was all right with that. But then he gradually got more dictatorial and then died all of a sudden. Well, maybe the country went to hell in a handbasket, in part at least, because the Americans sponsored a coup in 2002, and maybe the very severe American sanctions, which included in just an 18-month period, according to a UN rapporteur, killed 40,000 people because people couldn't get their dialysis machines and couldn't get their HIV and cancer medicines. Maybe that had something to do with the economy going to hell, and maybe it also had something to do with international oil markets ignored in this discussion. And also, maybe the best thing to have done around about 2006 was, given that the Chavez government was doing well for the country, maybe the forces of capital and the forces of the West should have joined them to make that country better. I was there in 2006 in Venezuela, and it did seem to be thriving, or at least improving, with much better literacy and so on. Now, if countries in the West had gotten behind them, that could have been a very different and very positive outcome.